Hey Colleen, hello Danny, and hi to the 4 people who have been kind enough to come and work on the crew on Monday night. Marcus, Paige, James and Theo. We really appreciate the effort from all of you guys, and it's going to be a fun night. So I've decided to put together this video just to summarize all of the information about the shoot on Monday night, so that A, everybody's on the same page, and B, if anything is off the mark in what we're doing, we can talk about that straight away and remedy it. So for the 4 guys on the crew, if anyone's not aware, Blues Is My Business is the 3rd music video that Colleen's done for her new album, Black and White, which was released about a week or 2 ago. It's currently #1 on the Aussie jazz charts and #1 on the Aussie blues charts, which is just pretty damn cool. So there's a link in the description to Blues Is My Business, the audio track, which is the song that we're doing the music video for, and to the 2 other music videos that she's done for this record, which was The Key, which she did with Sunday Chairs, who are another group, who are also really cool. The Key's a really cool song. And for Let Me Breathe, which is an amazing song, an amazing clip about domestic violence. And that song ended up being in conjunction with Violence Free Families, which is this Rotary organisation. It's a charity to help men with their anger management and just domestic violence issues in general. It became quite a big thing and got coverage on major news networks, and Colleen's been doing the interview rounds about it, so it's definitely worth having a look at. But our clip, the one that we're focused on at the moment, is Blues Is My Business. Have a listen to the track. It's very cool. It's very rock and roll, very bluesy.
I'm open for business in your neighborhood. The blues is my business, and business is good.
So the clip we're doing, the concept is to set it in a really sort of underground, dingy, dirty, seedy, sort of bluesy type of bar. So the idea with Colleen is that we get the sense that she's just run the place forever. Everybody knows her. She's friends with everybody, whoever comes into this place of a night, with the bikie, with the the shady dealers, with the card players, with the pool players, with the guys, with the girls. She knows what everyone's doing. She's sort of wise, the wise matriarch of this underground, seedy, rock and roll, bluesy place. And the most important thing, I believe, in the clip, other than seeing Colleen's perform, is that we see a lot of Colleen just in the bar, not performing, but just in the bar, serving drinks, which was Danny's idea, which is a great idea, and just talking to people at the tables, laughing, giving advice, just chatter, getting a sense that you know everybody and all that sort of stuff. So when we've got our people in there, we'll make sure we get lots of coverage of just you with people, just being Colleen with the people in the bar. Intercut with Colleen's performance and Colleen's character, we're going to have a number of sort of things going on in the bar. Now, there's nothing linear about the clip that we're doing. It's in no way a story or anything like that. There's no order or structure to it, but it's just images sort of cut together to give a sense of an ambience, of a sort of a cool underground place. We're going to have a group of guys at a card table. We get the impression some fairly high stakes poker game, and that invariably breaks out into a bit of a scuffle between the guys. It's sort of the rule of cinema that if you've got a scene in a bar, you have to have a bar fight. So I just couldn't resist the urge to not have a bar fight in our clip. Quick question for you, Colleen. Either it can just be like this kind of machismo thing, and one of the group just wins the fight, and the others decide it's best to leave the bar, or if you want, you can actually break the fight up. We can work those sorts of details out on the day, but just have a think about whether breaking up a sort of a barroom wrestle is part of the character you want to get across. I think it probably is. I think it'd be cool, but have a think about it. We'll have a guy, or maybe two or three guys up the back who portray sort of the druggy table. We're not going to show drug use, obviously, but that's the impression. That's the impression that we give. We're going to have 2 young lovers going at it, of course. The impression, although we'll leave it up to the audience to make their decision on this, is that it's a bit of a bordello type of thing going on, that it's isn't necessarily that romantic. but it's certainly got to be hot and steamy, and that's part of the sort of the bluesy type of thing we're doing. We were going to have the Club 59 bikers come down, which would have been so cool because obviously Club 59 is an internationally recognised bikie gang, and that's why Station 59, Club 59, that's the correlation, I think. But unfortunately, they had to pull out of doing it, which is a shame. So if anyone has if anyone knows anybody who's because it would just be really cool to have some bikes out the front, and like not necessary, but bikies are just so cool, and they're so appropriate for this clip that we're doing. So if anybody knows anybody who's a big guy or owns a bike, or would park their bike out the front, or I don't know. If anyone has some cool ideas to work bikies into it in a different way, short notice obviously. So, but if anyone does, then let me know, and we'll try and do it. But we'll have a few other sort of shady looking characters throughout the bar. Some people who you get the impression are dealers or mobsters or something. Again, we're not pushing this stuff, but we're just that's the sort of impression we're giving. And then the other element is we want shots of the city itself intercut with this, particularly over those first few chords. It's grungy alleyways, graffiti, out of focus headlights, those sorts of things that just give a sense of kind of like after 2 a.m. type of city vibe that we're trying to get across. Alright, so we've got Colleen performing, we've got Colleen being part of the bar, we've got drinks served, we've got smokes being smoked, we've got shots being done, bar fights breaking out, poker game in progress, we've got a pool table going, we've got lovers going at it upstairs, and all of this stuff cut together. A big part of the effectiveness of what we're trying to do here is in the cutting, in the editing. The plan is to do a lot of stuff like have slow motion shots, cut quickly. That sort of it's just this sort of odd experimental technique, and certainly for instance we'll cut quick on the drum solos.
I'm open for business in your neighborhood. The blues is my business.
And then we're just going to be really experimental with our transitions. We're going to have flashes, we're going to have sort of a grainy quality to the whole thing. It's going to have slow motion, it's going to have fast motion, it's going to have quick little flashy cut. It's not glamour effects, it's just dirty, flashy type of stuff. Alright, so that's the concept as it stands at the moment. Let's talk about the practicalities. On Saturday or Sunday night, I'll go into town and just shoot a bunch of shots of alleyways and graffiti, and just create a library of all that stuff so we have it in the bank. So Monday's the shoot day. The plan as it stands at the moment is to have a crew call of 3 p.m. This is at the bar in Richmond at Station 59. We want to have some a young couple passionately going at it upstairs. They're just flash cuts, but we need to do it upstairs as opposed to in the bar. So it's just a whole different setup. So we'll cart some of our gear in and set that up there. That'll take us half an hour or so. We'll shoot the young lovers doing their thing. We'll spend about an hour or so on that, and then we'll come down to the main bar and do the proper setup. Lighting is the big key of this clip, or certainly one of the most important aspects. We'll draw up a lighting plan prior to the shoot, so that we have somewhere to start from. But basically, backlighting is going to be the name of the game. So 2 key things that we need to do in the setup is smoke the place up. Close all the doors and just get a bunch of smoke in there, so that because we want the clip to be in that kind of hazy smoke, so that we can get those shafts of light, and the whole thing's just got a haze to it. And we want to do it. Just a technique we want to use on this clip is to have lights in the shot as much as possible. So over the weekend, I'll go and get source a bunch of stuff. There's lamps, Christmas lights that we can hang and just put them out of focus. Even Fresnels or redheads, if it's out of focus enough to not look like a film light, obviously. I think we all know the look we're going for, and we'll just make sure we get that. Then at about 6:15 to 6:30, we've got extras arriving. We've got about somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 extras who are coming down. And if anyone has anybody they want to bring down, bring them down, because it's sort of having too many isn't too much of a big deal for what we're doing. We want the place to look fairly crowded, and 15 to 20 will be able to give us that effect, particularly if we're shooting long lenses. And if it looks emptier than I hypothesize, then we'll do it as a sort of a what do you call it? Sort of an After Effects cheat. Now, for the first hour or so of the shoot, we are going to get extras plates, extras watching Colleen, close-ups of extras, just a whole bunch of coverage that we can use. We're going to have 3 cameras going. We're going to have the main camera, which is the 5D, which is filming me at the moment. We're going to have a 60D, which someone will have to operate, and we'll have a Canon Legria, just a little handy cam that we can go get some. But shaky shots is going to be fine for what we're doing, because it's also fast cuts. Also, there's so many sort of experimental cuts in what we're doing. So that's going to be that's going to be fun. If we have 3 cameras operating, we've got a couple of hours with the extras. We're going to get a ton of coverage that we can use. I mean, it's not all about coverage. We need, the majority of our camera shots to be really good shots, because we're setting the bar high in terms of the visual standard that we have to reach to be able to compete with the best music videos, which is what we're trying to do. But with 3 cameras, we'll be able to do both. We'll be able to get really good camera images and just get a ton of coverage as well to just give us everything that we're ever going to need in the edit. One thing we have, which is very cool, I think it's very cool. These are prop cigarettes. You light them, you smoke them, and they look exactly like a cigarette on screen, but they are completely nicotine-free and tobacco-free, so they're completely safe to smoke, and they'll look really good on camera. There's been some reservations about whether or not we should have smoking in the clip. I'm sort of advocating for it because I think it will be just really suit the mood of what we're doing. It's dingy, it's dirty, and just to alleviate any concerns, we're going to film it in such a way. We're going to do most of the smoking shots are going to be close insert shots, so we can drop them in or take them out, depending on what you think is appropriate. Once you see the clip as an edited whole. I certainly don't think Colleen should be smoking in the clip at all, but I don't think having a few people in the bar having a puff is really going to be that much of a big deal. I think it's going to be pretty cool. But the most important thing is that you, Danny, and Colleen are comfortable with everything that's being put into the clip. So you can keep an eye on that one and judge what you think is best. Now, the plan is to have the event catered, food and drinks. Now, we obviously want people to have drinks on camera, on screen, so I'm going to bring a whole lot of prop alcoholic drinks, apple juice and so forth, that will make look like alcohol. And then obviously there's the actual bar in the place if people want to buy drinks or not. Now, it's not dinner, but it will be a few nibbles. The aim is for it to be the least obtrusive catering of all time. We don't want to lose any filming time because people have to eat. I know people have to eat, but yeah, whatever. They don't have to eat too much. So Colleen, I've got a call for you at the moment of about 8 o'clock, so about an hour and a half after the extras arrive, and they've been doing their thing for a while. Colleen and Danny made the decision that it would be better for Colleen to do her own makeup as opposed to bringing someone else in to do it, which is perfectly cool. Now, a key thing that I want to talk to you about, Colleen, and I'll call you to talk to you about it before the shoot, is what you want to wear. The memo that I've given to everyone else, to all the extras, is to come dressed in dark colours, in either blacks or dark blue sort of thing, but nothing that stands out, because we want the whole thing to be this sort of hazy kind of dark, almost colourless club, which is why I think it could be cool if you were the exact opposite of that. If you were white, there's a great outfit you wear in your Rock Wiz performance, and I think almost that outfit exactly would just fit into our clip perfectly. But again, the most important thing is that you're presenting yourself the way that you want to be presented. And so we've done all of the stuff with the extras without Colleen, and then you rock up, and there's two things we want to get at that point. A, we want to get you with the people, serving drinks, just hanging out with them, this other stuff I was talking about before. and it would be good to do a couple of passes of the song, maybe, I don't know, two or three passes, we'll work it out on the day, with the audience actually there. So around 9 o'clock, we've shot all of the stuff with the extras, including the kissing and the bar fights, and all of that's done, so they can start to file out, and then at about 9 o'clock, we'll do your performance solo, Colleen, and we'll do sort of as many passes of those as we can. I've scheduled about an hour for it, so it'd be good to do, quite a few versions of it. So everything else in the clip can be fast cut, it can be flashy, and we can get away with sort of a lesser visual quality, a lesser quality of lighting, and all that sort of stuff. But the shots of you performing, in face to camera type shots, those are going to be spot on. So we're going to make sure we really, really set those up exactly right, and that we've got you looking as amazing as we can. And of course, that you're 100% happy with the performances that you're giving on those takes. We also want to be able to do a lot of jump cutting on you, just because the song's quite up tempo. So we want to be able to go in from here to here to cut to all the different angles. So so we're going to look to do it, quite a number of times. The other thing we have to get is Tony Naylor's coming down, and he's an amazing guitarist. We'll obviously get him doing the whole song, but there's a guitar solo around the middle of the song that's just very, very cool, and we'll have to get that on camera. We'll have to get it, exactly right. So he's definitely the man to do it. So we'll do that, and then that'll be a wrap for Colleen and Tony. And then the only other thing that'd be good to get just once, so everyone's gone, is just a bunch of insert shots of just interesting stuff around the club that we can cut into it. Things like, I don't know, cigarette smoke coming up, and hands on drinks, and we'll do a lot of them slow motion. Just interesting sort of close up insert imagery that again we can just cut in weird ways. And then that's a wrap. Then we've got to pack up, and we will definitely 100%. We've got to be out of there before the end of midnight. Before midnight. And that'll give us everything we need, except for after the fact, whenever it's organised. We're also going to get a shot of Molly Meldrum, who we don't think can make it to the actual shoot. We're going to get an insert close-up of him, which we'll just shoot at his house or any studio, or somewhere, some other location, where we can just hang black behind him and maybe, dangle some Christmas tree lights and, put some smoke in to make it sort of look like the same location. And he just looks so cool. He does that brooding look. And of course the hat, so you can look up from the hat. It'll be awesome. Now the one other thing we're going to try and do that originally we wanted to do on Monday night, but we sort of there's so much we got to do with Blues Is My Business that we weren't able to do it and wrap at a reasonable time, is do a shot of you, Colleen, on a black background, again in a smoky haze, similar sort of blues cafe type thing, performing I Sing the Blues.
I sing the blues. I sing the blues. I sing the blues.
The concept for that, just very briefly, is to have Colleen perform the song, and maybe we're sort of moving the camera around, but she'll do a few bars of the song. The screen will become sort of smoked over, and then out of that will come sort of really bluesy sketched images, things like a bass guitar and a tuba, and and like the face of Colleen's grandfather, and just interesting faces in general, and kind of trilbies and bluesy looking stuff. And it goes in and out. It goes images to Colleen, and it's a much sort of slower type of song than Blues Is My Business. So very different treatment. But that's an easy thing to shoot, because it's the only shooting required is Colleen's performance to camera, and then everything else is in post. So a very easy concept to do. But we just I don't think we're gonna have time to do it on Monday night if we want to get everything that we've set out to do with Blues Is My Business. But we should definitely do it, because we could just shoot it with me and maybe one other guy and get that done pretty easily. Ernie Studio maybe. Then we'll have basically 2 music videos in one. I think those are all the key details. If there's anything that anybody's unsure about, please get in touch. We want everybody to know what's going on and everybody to be happy with every element of what we're doing with this. Particularly you, Danny and Colleen, if there's anything that I've said here that is not what you thought we had talked about, then let's rectify that as soon as possible. But all in all, I think it's going to be exciting. Again, thank you very much to Danny and Colleen for the chance to do it. And of course, thank you to Paige, Theo, Marcus and James for coming on board. We wouldn't even be able to contemplate doing this much material in a short period of time without a dedicated crew on board. So your value is very much appreciated by everyone. So yeah, I'll talk to you all very soon and see you on Monday.
And business is